Hello everyone and welcome back to our Lies of P walkthrough. Today we're going to go through the last area of the game. If you're enjoying this walkthrough and find it helpful, useful, or just enjoyable to watch, please don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe as it helps the channel grow. So without further ado, let's get going to the last area of the game. The next area is mostly straightforward and filled with standard mobs, so I'll speed up through the less eventful sections and I'll slow things down when we hit moments that need a bit more attention. Okay, this area is going to be a bit tricky because you're going to have a lot of cannons shooting at you and some big cats that actually deal a lot of damage. So what you want to do is try to approach the cannons that you can see up there and preferably avoid the cats completely so they don't come and follow you, because otherwise it's going to be a pretty tough fight. Though in some cases those cats can just feel you or see you through walls, so a fight might be unavoidable. We'll wait for that cat to go away before advancing, because we don't want it following us up the stairs and fighting with us at the same time while we take out the cannons. Oh well. I guess the cat has the wall hack on. The cat is pretty tanky, so you might want to consider using the fire grindstone to damage it a lot faster. This area does not have any kind of rare drops like Quartz or Legion armor upgrades. It only has one collectible, for which I put a timestamp at minute 4, so if you're not interested in the ergo to level up anything, then you can just pass and go all the way up the stairs and meet the next boss. But if you want to collect a bit of ergo before we go there, then you can also clean up the entire area and after that advance. Besides that one collectible, everything else is just ergo or throwables or consumables, or anyway nothing very special. This boss here is more of a filler fight than anything else. He's got the HP bar of a boss, but his defenses and HP are very low. So just dodge to your left to get in close to the leg with the green goo on it and focus your attacks there. If you can, buff up yourself with the fire grindstone to deal extra damage. Once you reach the Stargazer, don't forget to use your ergo, and as we mentioned at the start of the walkthrough, except for capacity, which is a really frustrating status that is heavily restricting what gear you can wear and use without slowing down, and I think that the developers completely exaggerated with this specific status, we're going to put 20 points in each other status except advance. Okay, now in this area here we're going to have a cannon shooting at us and some sort of elite or mini boss, which is actually pretty tanky. You're going to have to be careful and, if possible, stay behind this wall here so that the cannon does not shoot at you, or try to make the cannon shoot at the mini boss. Once you get rid of this mob, go to the end of the stairs and open up the next path. Now we're going to go back to the Stargazer, refresh our potions, and continue on the new path that we just unlocked on the left-hand side. There isn't anything extremely interesting here, just follow the path and get to the top of the stairs. Once you're at the top of the stairs, take first the right path in order to get rid of the guy who's shooting the cannon, and after that we'll go back and unlock a shortcut and get rid of the rest of the mobs and loot everything else. Okay, here in this area we're going to have two big cats, and those cats are quite dangerous, as you might have noticed yourself, so we're going to try and lure one of them away from the other, so we can take care of them one by one. We can do that by getting close, let's say, to one of them here. And hopefully, oh god, well, the other one got lured, that's fine, it's still just one, so we're still on track with our plan. Okay, there, one cat down. And now we're gonna recharge our Fable really fast and do exactly the same for the second one. We can of course throw some termite or some other type of throwables if you're having problems with the cats. And our well-deserved reward. After this, we're just going to go to the next Stargazer, and we'll continue from there. This next area is going to have actually quite a few mobs. Be careful that you don't get pushed down, and after you pick your reward, just drop on the ledge in the middle to take care of the next two mobs. These mobs are extremely simple, just make sure that you hit them very fast so they don't have a chance to grab you. And once you get to the last ledge, to the lowest part, and make sure you destroy first the decay spores, and after that battle everything else. Remember also that the decay spores respawn, so if you see that you're in a decay area again, go and get rid of the spores once more. And then just progress normally through the rest of this part. There will be a lot of disruption mobs, so if you think it helps, you can always equip one of these yellow resistance potions. Just to have it and make sure you don't die in one shot from disruption. Also here, when you're chasing the butterfly, be careful to not hit the barrel, because the barrel is going to damage you a lot of damage. In this area here, we're going to have a shooter up there, which is going to make our life hard. So first of all, I'm going to lure one of the mobs, just to have a bit easier chance. Let's see, can we pull him? No. Fortunately, we cannot. We can throw a throwable. And that will make our passing here a lot easier, since we won't have to worry about being damaged unnecessarily. And this will unlock a shortcut from the path that we just came from. Be very careful of the trap in the wall, because it can very easily push you over. And don't forget about it, especially when you come down on the same path, since we're going to have to come down. Make sure you don't forget about it. In this area here, you have to fight one of those cats, and there's also a cannon shooting at you, so you should go and position yourself, either bring the cat inside in this square space area, or if not, be careful and listen to the sound of the cannon shooting so that you can dodge it before it hits you. Okay, even though we're low on potions, we skipped some items, so for the sake of not respawning all of the mobs in order to get those items, I'm first going to take care of this mob and take care of the thing that he's firing, so they don't have it in the future anymore, because these things don't respawn. And then we're gonna go and pick up some items that we skipped. And after that, we're gonna teleport back to the same save point and continue from there. Since we have 2 full moonstones, we're gonna go to the hotel first. And we're gonna upgrade the umbrella to the next level, and after that come back to the same area and continue with picking up items and progressing through the path. Besides the umbrella, we're also going to upgrade the acidic crystal spear blade to +10, because we're going to need it at the next boss. Most of the rest of the bosses that we're going to have are going to be between puppet and humanish, so upgrading the blitz is not necessarily the best choice in this case, reason for which I upgraded the acidic spear. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the items that we saw after we unlocked this last shortcut, and after that we're going to progress at the top of the stairs to the next area of the game. Be careful of the trap on the floor here. There is a trap right next to me on my right. When you come in and get out of this room. And we're finally going to meet somebody who you've been talking to the whole game. And I'm gonna let you enjoy the conversation.
Oh my, an actual factual guest. I bid you welcome, puppet of Geppetto. This is our first face-to-face meeting, isn't it? And I hope you weren't too attached to the rhyming. It gets to be a chore without the transmitter to help. Welcome to my sanctum of riddles. I admit I did not really expect you to make this journey in person. Oh, the havoc you must have wreaked along the way. Was there much blood other than what's all over you? I know all about those alchemist cowards. Hiding away on their island, growing more monstrous by the day, refusing to acknowledge either fact that they are hiding or that they are monsters. And how about you? Is this the real you? Or are you still practicing the liar's art as only you can? You must answer. The question is simple, but I repeat, you must answer. And that answer will show what or who you are. Who you have decided to be. Now listen closely and heed the king's speech, or the answer to this one will stay out of reach. Are you a puppet or a human being? Which one are you? Are you... Finally! You understand! Yes, we are human. We may be trapped by ergo, but we live, we think, we love, we hate. They have locked us in the prison they call puppetry. I learned this truth long ago. That is why I've been exacting my revenge against them all ever since. Blood and revenge, revenge and blood, it's the only thing that truly drives me. And it was so much fun. Even if you're lying right now, even if you don't believe your own answer, the truth is clear. Proof is evident. Only humans practice deception so intensely for reasons that are so unnecessary. Well, these moments of clarity are enjoyable. Now the rhyming, it helps me maintain focus. At least it helps me hide the urge to kill that I feel every waking moment. But no play can go on forever. No. It was fun while it lasted, son of Geppetto. The king of riddles shall now retire. The play is over. You don't have to go home or straight to hell. Though that would be my choice. But you can't stay here. Not if you want to live. Aren't you curious, huh? Don't you want to know? Oh. Of course you do. Delicious. Time is all I have left. But your time is limited, Geppetto boy. I will gladly waste every moment you have if you like. It's your life. So, come on. Now or never. This tower is absorbing all the ergo in Krat. It was built in this precise location because it's the most efficient place in the world to study and use ergo wavelengths. But it's not even about me. Or you, either. This is about the goddess in the tower. Now she, is worth saving. Her powers are impossible. Her knowledge is endless. She is more, well, awakened than any of us. And you see, she has so much power. It's not like she'll miss just a little. So, I have simply been sharing. Why bother? Well, I was bored. Is there any more human motivation in all the world? What if I made a puppet of a human? The way they made humans. Of puppets. What could possibly be more fun? More suitable? The play is over. Ah, your eyes are sharper than your wit. You found the gift I left behind. Wasn't it a sight to behold, huh? I learned from an alchemist when I served him. Thanks to him and his surprisingly low pain threshold, I learned the location of their secret island. Humanity sullied its own sanctum long before I found it. Blasphemed against itself, against us, by playing God. But I'm an artist. Murderer is a word the humans use to restrain us, to make us refuse our strength and power. I'm an artist. An artist of blood. I have to admit, sullying that particular sanctum was, well, fun. Even now, the memory is enough to make me shudder with something approaching joy. If only I could relive that triumph. The play is over. Venigni. Oh, a beautiful fool, but a fool nonetheless. A mere slip of a boy when I met him, huh? And did he ever thank me for making him an orphan with my bare hands? Like for giving him everything he has on a silver platter by removing the dead weight holding him back. Huh. Of course I'm not sorry. It was a delectable murder. Of the many I have committed since, the Venignis, they have to be my personal favorites. They engineered the very first automated puppets. Enslaved puppets without even understanding what they'd done. I didn't go there to take revenge for what his parents did. I mainly just wanted to slaughter them because they were so damned happy. Oh, what a great memory. In their last moments, they begged me not to kill their child. So I didn't. I'm not a machine. I have free will. I made a choice in the heat of the moment. And it was a choice driven by that most human of emotions. Curiosity. If the child survived, would he be traumatized for life? Become a coward, a vengeful puppet-hating bigot, a despairing wretch? Would he fling himself into the sea? Would he remember the devil that orphaned him before his eyes was a puppet? Would he remember Arlechino? Not surprisingly, the alchemists and people of the workshop were as artless as I expected, concealing the truth. Thanks to them, I get to see Venigni endure twice as much pain. I cannot control myself. Oh, it's so satisfying. Venigni is one of my greatest accomplishments. Perhaps even my masterpiece. I suppose I can return this. I've held on to my little souvenir for quite some time. Tell him it's a little something to remember me by.
Okay, so this is the item that you will need to get the achievement for Venigni's entire story. We'll have to report it at Venigni, but before that we have a shortcut to unlock and a few more items to pick up, like 2 or 3 more items to pick up. So we're gonna do that first. And after that we're going to go to Venigni to finish his storyline and achievement. After you take the elevator, get out on the first stop before the elevator actually stops pulling you up so that you can pick up some items you wouldn't otherwise be able to pick up. When you pass by this area, before unlocking the shortcut, free this NPC as well, as it will give you a quest for more humanity.
I'm not going back. I am sick of consuming ergo. It's cruel. There's real meals and real songs out there. I'm not just a memory-reading tool. What? You're not the inspector? Well, if you're from the outside, that means we can leave. Thanks. I know the way out, so don't worry about me. Maybe I'll see you on the outside.
And now, since we unlocked the shortcut, we're also going to go and report some quests, like for example the Venigni quest. And since we got a new gesture, the happy gesture, we're also going to go back to the swamp and teach the broken puppet the happy gesture to get our final reward from that quest line as well.
The toy? But how? The toy my parents made me. You've met him. Arlechino. We had just watched one of my favorite films, I remember. I begged them to make me the warrior from it. If I hadn't, would my parents still be alive? Would we have been untouched by that murderous puppet? I've always blamed myself. It's a hell of a burden for a child, that kind of guilt. So I hung on. I hung on to the Grand Covenant. I wanted to use it to keep people safe. You know, in many ways, I envy you. Your strength. Thank you for this. Talk about closure.
And this would give you the achievement for Venigni's story.
I always welcome.
Now we're also going to do the other quest for the NPC that we just unlocked. Right after we pick up the gold coin fruits. Yeah, we'll actually have 2 quests to do. First of all, we'll go to that puppet that we've been teaching gestures. And we're going to show this puppet the happy gesture that we just unlocked.
Hello, my only friend. What have you come to tell me? It feels good. Like being hugged by the sun. It is a brilliant feeling. Like the start of spring. Thanks. I think I've learned something about humans. If I make human friends someday, I'll tell you. You may not always be my only friend, but you'll always be my first friend.
Don't forget to talk to this NPC 2 times after the last emote so that you can get your quartz. And after this, we're going to go back to the hotel to talk to Cucinella to see what he has to say since he's appearing in our quest list.
Might I have a moment, puppet of Geppetto? Ah, good. I was a bit concerned my voice wouldn't even reach you. It has been so very long since I spoke out of turn. You see, I too have been awakened. I have an ego, as Master Venigni would say. And I have been this way for some time. At least since Master Lorenzini was a child. He had no one else, you see. His parents. I'm sure you've heard of their terrible fate. And he had to see it all. But Master Lorenzini is stronger than most people suspect. A puppet was the killer. We both knew it. But if we had told the authorities, they might have removed me from the household as well. The young master would have been alone if I had been taken away. If only I could have saved them. Now I atone for that failure by thinking only of Master Venigni's prosperity and happiness. But even I did not realize how deeply he still held that trauma. How badly that murderous puppet had scarred his soul. You have set him free. I cannot thank you enough. I am not accustomed to sharing such thoughts or feelings. But when it involves Master Venigni, please accept this gift as it truly comes from the heart. My own. We will always roll out the red carpet for you at the House of Venigni.
Okay, and now we're going to finish one more achievement. There is actually one Trinity door that we haven't yet unlocked because we didn't have a key, and we're also going to have to pray to a shrine, which we also haven't done. So we're going to do that right now. And we're going to first pray at the shrine. We're going to go to St. Frangelico Chapel, Cathedral Chapel entrance. And we're first going to go and pray at the shrine. You can do this as soon as you defeat the boss in the cathedral. It will give you the pray emoticon, and you can do this at that time. So you don't have to come so late into the game to do it. You can do it at any point from that moment after you get the pray gesture. At any point you can do it, but we'll have to do it before getting to the next boss. So if you haven't done it already, go and do it before the next boss. Okay, and once you see the message that your heart is pounding, it means that you can already go for the Rise of P ending, but you're still going to need a bit more humanity for the Golden Light weapon. So you still have to keep on gaining humanity, but you can already go for the Rise of P ending. And for the last Trinity door, we're going to teleport to the library. And after this, I'll show you the path to the last Trinity door. I think it's pretty easy to miss this one. I think a lot of people missed it. It's not very obvious and it's in a pretty tricky spot. And you also probably don't have a key once you get to it. Even if you see it, you don't have a key, so you might forget about it. And once you've unlocked this door as well, then you're going to get the achievement for unlocking all of the Trinity doors. The next mob is actually going to be pretty hard, so we're gonna buff up before we fight that mob. Especially in the first encounter, you're gonna probably... So they're the same mobs from the previous area. However, they are pretty strong in general, these mobs. And this one takes you by surprise and attacks pretty fast, so there are pretty high chances that you're gonna get damaged a lot if you don't buff yourself accordingly. I know that we skipped an item somewhere here, and just to be a completionist, I wanted to pick up all of them. So we're gonna go around, make a round, just to find that item. Okay, and now we can progress to the next area. Okay, at this encounter here, it doesn't really matter what you do, it's up to you. So feel free to do whatever you want to do for this encounter.
Whoa, is that you? Wow, you're really something. Seriously, that's impressive. How did you follow me all the way here? Fighting is always my last choice, you know? But you're not getting anywhere near my sister, friend. You'll have to go through me first. And I actually thought we were friends. Was any of that true? In the end, I really don't care. There's only one reason we were given a mission. I'll let you go if you give me gold coin fruit. Aha! I had a feeling we might eventually see eye to eye. I like you. Don't trust you yet, but I'm a cat. I'm slow to trust. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Krat. Sick to death of just surviving. Hurting, stealing, kidnapping. Surviving. When the hell does it end? My sister and I are going to leave for a different city. Get my eyesight back. A fresh new start as a family. And you have to know, that old man, Geppetto, is safe. We were never gonna hurt him. So please, just let my sister go. Ultimately, we want the same thing. And you have to know, that old man, Geppetto, is safe. We were never gonna hurt him. So please, just let my sister go. Ultimately, we want the same thing.
Okay, once you get here, first go down and pick up because there's an item here, and then we'll take the elevator upstairs. Okay, this area is actually going to be quite long, so we're not gonna stay and beat every mob. In this area, there's no specific achievement drop, so we don't really have to stay and beat every mob here. So we're just going to rush until we get to this room, and here is a ladder on the top right that you can take. And we're gonna have a pretty strong mini-boss quite soon, so I'm not going to use our Fable. There are actually two strong mini-bosses in this area, so I'm not going to waste our Fable on anything that's not worth it. We are going to, however, unlock some shortcuts so we can make it here easier the next time around. This is one of the strong mini-bosses of the area. It is not the only one. There is another one that is just as strong or even stronger. But we're gonna take care of this one first. And then recharge our Fable before the next one. And this is going to be the last vessel that you'll need to decipher as well. This is the most annoying mini-boss that I was telling you about that we're going to reach. You can also ignore him and go up the stairs and you'll unlock a shortcut to progress the game if you don't want to beat him. But usually beating such mini-bosses come with its own rewards, so I do advise that you buff up yourself, put your grindstone, get some throwables, use fables, and just get rid of him, melt him as soon as possible so he doesn't have time to actually damage you and kill you. Once you do that, just run up the stairs behind him, and you're going to find a lever that you can pull, and after you pull that lever, you're going to unlock the next area of the game. And don't be shy to use throwables if you have any. This area is also great for farming, so if you need ergo, you want to level yourself up or buy consumables or something, you can come here. You have a ton of mobs that you can pick from, and you can just grind away to your heart's content. Once we're done with that, we're going to go back to Venigni and unlock the last cryptic vessel that we got and actually finish that quest because it's going to give us a quartz. Also, once you get rid of Aridoro, this NPC is going to replace him, and you're going to be able to come here and buy the weapons, the special weapons that you need.
I should add that to my map. It was grim work out there. I found the real Alidoro. He's dead. Probably died heroically, seeking one last score. I buried his body and collected his belongings. It's a tragedy. He was a real professional and an inspiration to the next generation. I'm planning to continue his legacy. And like I said, I'm an explorer, not a fighter, so you would know. Is this weapon any good? If you're worthy, I'll give you Alidoro's weapon.
Okay, so in order to get the reward from the last cryptic vessel, you're going to need to buy this weapon right here, the Frozen Feast. Well, you're going to have to buy all of the weapons, to be fair. If you want to get the achievement for the special weapons, you're going to have to buy all of the weapons here. But specifically, just for this cryptic vessel, you're gonna need this specific weapon. And with this, we're going to go and talk to a specific merchant NPC from the previous map. Once you get to the Stargazer, go to chapter 9 and teleport to the abandoned apartment. And in order to get that reward, we also have to equip the weapon that we bought. So we're going to equip it for a moment just to be able to talk to the NPC.
Who are you? I make deals only with established clients as a rule. Oh, is it Mr. Frozen Feast? I knew only the meeting spot, not the client. I apologize for not recognizing you. Here's the item you wanted. I made it just like the uniform of that conceited stalker. Hope you like it. Looking forward to more discreet transactions, if you catch my meaning.
And once you show him your weapon, he's going to reward you with a costume and a quartz. Okay, so before I teleported back here, I also went to Mall District and I recharged all of my throwables. And I recharged my thermite and my throwing cells. Throwables, I actually used some ergo and bought for like 15-20k each of these throwables, because they're going to make our game much easier. And right now we're also going to have a mini boss, which will be a puppet, so you want to have your throwing cells equipped and a weapon that can help you with a puppet boss. Additionally, this area is great if you want to come and farm ergo. So if you're interested in farming or upgrading some skills, or you need ergo for anything else, then this is one of the best areas to come and do that. Okay, so there is a trick here to not use a lot of consumables. Once you get in this room that you just unlocked previously, go and run up the ladder as soon as possible. And then just idle around here. The carcass mobs from the other room are going to also follow you, the ones that you didn't previously beat, and they're going to fight the mini boss on your behalf. Okay, once the puppet is done with fighting all of the mobs and defeating them because he is stronger than the mobs, then you can just go and try to hit him across the gate. And at some point he is going to turn around and come towards you, and then you can throw 2 or 3 throwables and you're done with him. Once you're done with this, go up the ladder and you'll get to the next area. It's a pretty straightforward area with a few mobs, so get first rid of the small carcasses and leave the guy with the electric cane at the end. You can also prepare some Fable Arts or throwables for him, or if you're lucky or good enough at dodging behind him, break the canister on his back for an insta stagger. After that, just go up the next ladder and you'll eventually reach a shortcut which will take you to the teleport point. don't get baited by the item that you see in front of you. Go first, unlock your shortcut, go downstairs, save at the Stargazer, and then come back up, because there's a mob that's going to shoot you if you go there directly, and you're gonna have to run all the way back here if you do otherwise. Once you get rid of the mob, feel free to go and pick up your item. This area has a lot of mobs that increase your disruption build up, so if you're getting dangerously close to dying in one shot, don't forget to either dispel the disruption or increase your resistance to it using the appropriate yellow potion consumables. Now the next two mobs here are going to be a pain, so if you have any kind of consumables or grindstone or throwables that you're willing to use to get rid of them, go ahead and use them. And now we're going to pick up one more quartz. Here it's important that you don't rush and you don't try to skip multiple traps at a time. Just go one trap at a time. Look on the blood stains on the floor in most cases so that you know where it will hit next. And after you get to the half where you see that little bigger square, then start using your guard so that the mob is not going to push you down. If you are using a pokey weapon like me, be careful to not hit the mob too many times, because I actually fell a couple of times just attacking this mob and I fell right after him. So be careful how many times you hit the mob so that you don't fall like I did. After you pull the lever, give it a moment, don't start running straight off because there might be one more round of traps coming. Once you're clear and you stay for like 3-4 seconds and you see that none of the traps are activating, you can go forward with no problems. Okay, we're gonna have a pretty strong mob here, so equip a weapon that can deal a lot of damage, and if you still have any buffs, like Fable to recharge your Fable slots or anything, buff. And after that, get ready to hit a pretty tanky mob and finish him as soon as possible, because he is going to be quite annoying otherwise. Okay, and we are finally at the next boss. At the top of this elevator on the next floor, we are going to have a Stargazer, and we're going to use it to go to the hotel because we obtained quite a few quartz pieces, and we're going to use that quartz to upgrade ourselves, regain our Fable Arts, and then come up with a strategy for the next boss. And once we're at the hotel, we're going to skip directly to the P organ tree. Here we're going to go back to the first node, the increased staggerable window, and we're going to choose for the first slot increased staggerable duration, and for the second one increase attribute resistance, since the next boss is going to hit us with blitz. After that, we're going to jump to the fifth node and select the stagger one and unlock the enhanced fatal attack, lower damage while dodging, perfect guard fable charge, and enhanced fable catalyst effect. And for the last one, we're going to go to the third node, select increased cube uses, and in the first slot we're gonna put the perfect guard fable charge enhance. And with this, we're going to go to the boss. Before we actually go ahead and start the boss, let's look at the items we are going to use. We have the pulse cells, naturally, the blue resistance potions, fable catalyst recharge potion, Thermite and throwing self-throwables, and shot put. As weapons, we're only going to use the Acidic Crystal Spear Blade, which is plus 10, and Aegis Legion arm that is upgraded to the max as well. And with that, good luck. Laxasia usually opens with this dashing attack followed by 3 strikes. You can dodge the dash attack once she's close to you and then sidestep the smash attacks until she does the fury one, and then get in for a free hit or Fable Art. One of her most spammed attacks she's going to repeat until you learn how to dodge perfectly is this one, where she takes a step back, taunts you with her sword, and then tries to spear you with her sword. The secret to perfectly avoiding this attack is dodging towards her. It may require a bit of practice at the beginning to take the timing down, but once you know you should dodge into her instead of away from her, this attack becomes pretty trivial to get away from. Next up is her second charge attack, where she first charges her sword with lightning and then runs towards you while dragging it. The easiest way to avoid it is just to walk past her in the opposite direction. Besides her other obvious attacks where she slams the floor and sends lightning towards you, that you're going to have to see for yourself once or twice and then you'll know how to dodge, she's going to do this spinning attack where she keeps on flipping her sword from the left to the right. The best way to avoid this one is either to run very far away from her, or when she gets close to you, double dash into her and go behind her. When she kicks you, she's also going to try to stab you, so dash into her like for the previous attack.
Oh, Simon. Your sword, Laxasia, swears to protect this tower.
Alright, once you get her to stage 2, the very first thing you should do is pop a blue resistance potion and get ready to block. If you perfect block her thunderbolts, you're going to reflect them back to her and deal damage, and this is by far the easiest way to hurt her. After her round of thunderbolts finish, she'll fly and slam into you. Make sure you're full HP because this hit usually connects. The moment she's down, unload the Fable Art on her, because this is probably your best and maybe only safe window to land the Fable Art on her. Her regular close range attacks are tricky to predict. They have an awkward delay and she's quick on her feet, which makes them even harder to deal with. That being said, there are 3 somewhat safe ways to damage her. The first and simplest one is using throwables. Though she is pretty mobile and there are high chances that you're going to miss your throwables. The second one is keeping your Aegis shield up while attacking. If you've leveled it enough, you can attack at the same time at which you parry, and this is one of the most overpowered cheese strategies in this game, especially for Laxasia. And the third one is throwing her thunderbolts back at her. She tends to spam them at least 30% of the time, sometimes even more, so mastering the perfect guard is key. I recommend pushing her into stage 2 at least a couple of times just to practice timing your parries against her, with different thunderbolt patterns. You can of course learn how to guard and perfect guard all of her skills, but if your intention is not to become a master in Lies of P but rather just finish the game easily, then these are the 3 main strategies you should focus. And one last thing you should really pay attention to is that when you stagger her, you don't want to get close to her and hit the heavy attack in order to activate the stagger. Instead, go away from her as far as possible and shoot her down with a shot put. Once she finishes discharging her electric attack, you can get close to her, auto attack her and use the fatal attack.
Sir Simon, only you with the word.
And just like that, congratulations, you defeated Laxasia. The rest of the video will contain conversations with NPCs, unlocking the requirements for the Rise of P ending and getting the Golden Light weapon. If you want to experience this firsthand by yourself while playing the game, you can hop off here, but keep in mind that the options you select here will affect your humanity gain, your ending, and the ability to get the Golden Light weapon. With that being said, we're going to go first to the Rosa Isabel Street Halvard and talk to the new NPC that we freed in order to gain a bit more humanity.
Nice to see you again. I thought if I got a second chance, I'd go to where my heart's content. I never expected to get out alive. Oh, it's overwhelming, even now. Want to take a look at what I have? I grabbed a couple of things before taking off. It's a new life, a new attitude, and simple pleasures like ordinary conversation. Nice loot, yeah? If you need anything, just say the word.
Here you can also buy the Carcass Crystal Axe Blade that you'll need for all of the normal weapon achievements.
I used to be a fan of the actress Patricia, not the red actress Adelina, but her sister. Patricia had an angelic voice like her sister. If she'd become famous, they would have called her the White Goddess. But her career was cut short. She took poison and ruined her throat. I've only read others' memories, so I don't know the details. But the memories people had of her songs. You should have heard her voice in her prime. Something transcendent like that. It makes you feel alive. I survived, so I'm seeking out experiences like that. So, any more questions? Did I go sightseeing? You bet I did. It's the heart of Quartz. The theatre, the Ferris wheel, there's so much to see. Although, most of it has burned down now, I suppose. The most fascinating thing, I couldn't believe it. The writing on the back of a made puppet. I read memories, but still, any way you look at it, it's the made puppet's words. Probably designed like that. What kind of puppet would write that stuff? Still, it was weird. You should see it for yourself.
Once you talk to him and ask him what he saw and he tells you about the puppet, that means that you started the quest that will give you a bit more humanity. And with that, we're done with this area and we're going to go back to the hotel and talk to Polendina and find out what happened to Lady Antonia.
Unsurpassed sorrow, I must announce. Lady Antonia has passed away. As she entered immortality, she seemed at peace. Her face was calm, and she wasn't in pain. It is all thanks to you. Without your most difficult of choices, she would never have found such peace. As for me, I am bereft of emotion. My life, or what passes for it, has lost meaning. It feels like pain has swallowed me whole. Thus I plan to erase my heart and become an ordinary puppet. This will be my last conversation with you as Polendina. Despite how it ended, I thank you for the kindness, bravery, and beautiful moments you showed me. Welcome to the...
One of the final things you can do to gain humanity, in case you did not choose all of the possible humanity options like we've discussed in this walkthrough, is to go here to the gramophone and listen to the records you collected. The records you can still obtain humanity from will appear with a yellow icon with a gramophone in the middle, like you can see here, and after you listen to those records and you can no longer obtain humanity from them, they're going to appear as a normal vinyl disc, as you can see here. And with this done, we can finally go and talk to Sophia.
Oh, God.
It hurts so much. I want to be free. Please.
What do we do? I don't know. I can't make this choice. I think she wants to live, but what will you do? You have to decide. You, not me. Keep her alive, perhaps against her wishes, or give her peace. It's your call.
Thank you. I was trapped for so long. So much torment. So much pain. Take my ergo. I will be with you to the very end.
If you followed all the choices in this walkthrough, then your hair should also turn white when you free Sophia, and this means you can go for the best ending, in my opinion, the Rise of P ending. This also means you have a lot of humanity, and you should be able right now or after the next boss to go back and get your golden light weapon. And we're going to do this right after unlocking the next Stargazer.
We did do the right thing, didn't we? I trust you. Let's keep going.
Next, we're going to pick up the golden light weapon. And here we go, we also picked the golden light weapon that is required for the all special weapons achievement. To get that achievement, you need to get all of the weapons from the Hound NPC, regardless if it's Alidoro or the one that replaces him, plus the golden light weapon that we just got right now. Thank you for sticking around until the end, and if you've enjoyed this series until now, please don't forget to give a like, share and subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow. I'll see you in the next and final episode, and until then, stay frosty.